Hey guys, and welcome to a new video. And in this video I've actually got myself a new camera, and as you can see the camera is the Lumix GH4. Now the Lumix GH4 is by no means a new camera because it's been out for 10 years now, and it's been superseded by the GH5 and the GH6. But the GH4 really was a trailblazer in terms of camera innovation, because it was the first camera I think that used 4K. Even though I'm kind of primarily more kind of stills based photographer, I do like doing a bit of video now and then as well. And the price for this camera on MPB was actually pretty good, so I got it for just over £280. So yeah, I was quite impressed with the price, and also the condition of the camera is also very good. So if you're a photographer, you probably will be familiar with this camera, but if you're not familiar, then I will say a quick bit about it in terms of its specs. It's basically a Micro Four Thirds camera with a 16 megapixel sensor. The GH5 superseded it, of course, has 20 megapixels, and I think the GH6 is topped that and sits at 25 megapixels. Of course, I'm not primarily worried about the megapixels regarding this camera, because I've already got a 20 megapixel camera with the AIM-1 Mark II, so yeah, so from that standpoint I wasn't too worried. Also, another reason I didn't really consider the GH5 as such was because the GH5 is a good bit heavier than the GH4. By about 200 grams, so you're talking in the region of about 730 grams for the body alone, which is quite substantial. So yeah.
Whoa, this is heavy.
So from that standpoint, I wanted to keep things a bit more lightweight and compact. So I've switched the camera on now, and as you can see, I've got full charge on it because I charged it up a wee bit not too long ago. So what I'll do is look through the menus for a wee bit and show you what settings the camera has. So, yeah, starting with motion picture, you got custom, setup, and playback. So there's your four primary menu options or folders. Now the thing about the GH4, as I said, it's very much a kind of video-centric camera. Even though there's plenty of stills features for photography, it is, as I said, primarily more considered, obviously, a video camera for professional videographers, and even obviously amateur videographers as well. So to look at the options here, we've got stuff like photo style, 4K photo. Yeah, you can create a video clip and from that extract an image, which would be 8 megapixels in size. So it's pretty good, quite a smart idea. Yeah, depending on what options you choose, you're going to have varying different options here. There's 4K. You've got 4K at 25 frames per second. Full HD at 50 frames per second, Full HD 25, you've got HD at 25, and you've got VGA at 25p. Also, it depends what mode you select, this can actually vary. Also, regarding the dials in the camera, there's certainly quite a few options there. You've got all your standard options like the PASM dial, PASM. However, when you want to use this camera for video mode, I think you're actually best setting it for motion picture mode. So, and that's obviously how you can use most of the features for it. You also get some good stuff like you've got a dedicated white balance button, ISO button, exposure compensation button. That's the F1 button, and there's a Wi-Fi option. I don't think I've ever even used Wi-Fi in any of these cameras. So you also get a front dial here. Also, there's the different modes. This is actually really good, having this as a separate button to shoot between the different modes. Yeah, that kind of dial is really good because it helps you not need to go in and out of the menu so much to select different options. I'll also quickly show you the underside of the camera, where you obviously have the battery compartment door, and then there's the tripod mount hole. So yeah, pretty standard stuff. Opening the door, that's how you open the door, and the battery's housed in there. I think this is supposed to be quite a good battery and holds a decent charge, so probably about 400 to 500 shots, something like that. So yeah, I think it's a pretty impressive battery life on the camera. Also quickly, there's the compartment which houses the SD card, so if you pop that aside, you can obviously that's where you store the SD card. So yeah, it's just a one slot, unlike, I don't know if the GH5 has more than one slot, but anyway, that's where you store or insert the memory card. Also lastly, there's a few options here. So there's the connections for your headphone and also for AV, digital out and HDMI. And another reason why I wanted to buy the GH4 is because it has an interesting video feature which I was keen to try out, which I'd seen in a few YouTube videos, and the feature itself is called variable frame rate. And now this doesn't come on automatically straight away, so you do have to do a bit of tinkering in the menu settings to actually get this to come on. And actually what I've done was I actually put it in MOV mode. So I put it in MOV mode, and then I selected recording quality, which is 1080p at 25 frames per second, or 25p. So I did that to bring the variable frame rate on. So this is definitely quite an interesting feature. So what it actually does, this variable frame rate, is quite interesting. It records footage at different speeds, and it can go all the way from 2 FPS up to 96 FPS. Now at 96 FPS it slows everything. It slows the video clip down quite dramatically, and you get some pretty cool looking slow motion footage. The only problem is though, from what I've read, is that at the higher FPS such as 96, the video quality takes a hit. You'll start to see artifacts such as aliasing and moire patterns in your image, which is not ideal. So unless you want that or that kind of real slow-mo effect, then you can probably just avoid using 96. There's also 75 FPS, which again I've seen a video or two on which they said that the quality of that wasn't so great. Again, you get to see the moire kind of aliasing patterns in your videos and certain textures and things, so probably avoid using that one. Can use it of course if you want, I guess. This, however, as I said, and I think from what I'd seen, was actually one of the best ones to use, which was 62 FPS. This actually does provide a good balance between video quality and also slow motion. Of course it goes from 50 down to 37, 30, 27, 25, 23, 21, 12, and of course 2 FPS. So it's a really neat feature. I've tried it out already a few times just in the house, but I'm keen to actually get out and use that a bit more out and about, which would be more fun than just doing stuff around the house, because it'd be great to get footage of like birds in flight or birds flapping around, or just other things like streams or waterfalls and slow-mo, just capture different things. In fact, what I'll do before this video goes up on YouTube, I'll actually go out and try and get some footage, video footage, using the variable refresh rate and the kind of slow-mo. Also might try and capture some stuff in 4K, and just see how it looks. Anyway, so that's it for now, guys. Hope you enjoyed this one, and I will aim to try and do a few more videos on the GH4 in future. Obviously, because there's so many features on it, and I only just scratched the surface of what it can actually achieve and is capable of in terms of even just looking at the menus and stuff. So again, that's it for now, and I will see you in the next one. Till the next one, this is Kenny saying bye for now, and I will see you soon.